and welcome to this very special edition of Quays News.
It's our 5th birthday today, and what an amazing 5 years it's been.
We've got a jam-packed show for you today with students past and present joining us in the studio and some very special video messages. It's sure to be one amazing birthday extravaganza.
We've changed so much over the years, so let's take a look at our very first show.
Good morning and welcome to the latest headlines from Quays TV News.
I'm here outside Old Trafford, where last night Manchester United were disappointingly held to a 2-2 draw by SL Benfica. The draw leaves them needing 1 point away at FC Basel in Switzerland in their last game to reach the UEFA Champions League knockout stages.
Manchester City Council promised us this year's Christmas markets would be bigger and better than ever. The opening weekend saw a record-breaking number of visitors as 70,000 people came to enjoy what was on offer. The markets are open daily from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. They run until December 21st.
The north is set to be wet and windy with some sunshine further south. It's currently 6 degrees here in Manchester at the moment, hoping to reach 9 degrees by lunchtime. At 12 o'clock, winds are set to reach 11 miles per hour, so wrap up warm, people.
That's it from Quays News. We'll see you more. Goodbye.
How strange is it that we've been around for half a decade and back then we only had one presenter?
And to think we didn't even have HD back then, did we?
We didn't, did we? No, but the classic Quays set has stayed the same and it will probably never change.
Except we have Twitter now and people have been tweeting in with their hashtag Happy Birthday Quays and hashtag Why I Love Quays.
And now for our first video message. This one comes from the woman behind Quays TV News, the brains behind the whole project, Sarah Jones.
Happy birthday, Quays News. I'm so happy to be here back in the old studio where it all began 5 years ago. And it's changed so much. The work that's being done here is absolutely incredible. And I'm so happy to be here. What I'm really happy about is all of the success stories that keep coming out of people that have been involved with Quays. And that makes me really, really proud. I don't think when Neil and I started this 5 years ago that we expected to see it grow to such levels and all the awesomeness that's been happening within here. I think my favourite memory is probably being involved in the big marathon broadcasts that we had for charity and also with the Global News Relay, where we got to see Quays News on this massive global stage, and we got huge recognition from that by all kinds of people, not just here but all over the world. And probably best of all was ordering the pizza and us all just eating pizza to get us through the last couple of hours of the 12-hour shift. All of that stuff is great. The work here that's being done is absolutely amazing. So happy birthday, Quays News.
Now, you may have noticed Sarah mentioning the Global News Relay. Well, this is just one of the many amazing opportunities we have had over the past 5 years.
Not only were the team involved, but we also hosted the show. We ran the whole thing from this very studios, linking to other student news programmes from around the world.
We've also held our own 15-hour marathon, raising money for charity and much more.
15 hours? God, that must be long. Now, here are some of our best bits from the marathons that we've held.
Oh no! Alex!
And less than a minute into the cook, it's chaos in the kitchen.
Hello and welcome to Quays Kickabout. Over the course of the next hour, we'll be looking back at the non-league football season and picking out the best from Greater Manchester non-league sides.
One arm up,
I also heard that, is it Vanessa Phelps did a £1 million snog with, I'm not quite sure who it was, but someone on Radio 1, Scott Mills, I think.
Yes, she did.
So would you snog Vanessa Phelps or even Scott Mills, do you reckon?
Definitely not, Tom, definitely
Why not? She's a good looking woman. Why not?
No.
Or man.
Definitely not.
Okay, right. Now that's it from us here at Quays TV News. It brings us to a close of our 12-hour marathon in aid of comic relief. It's been a groundbreaking event for all of us here. We've had some great fun, heard some great music and raised more than £335.
Now we would just like to thank all of those involved today making this broadcast possible. channel, and of course to all of you for tuning in across the day.
That's it for us today. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
So from all of us here at Quays TV News, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Just dreadful. Oh God, thank God that's over.
Now it's time for our first guest.
But who is it? Have you got any clues?
Fishing, Flying Scotsman and Zifferblatt.
Some trains are built for luxury, some are built economically, but this was a machine that was built for speed. Charging towards London, the Flying Scotsman is aiming to set a new world record. 97, 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. This was the first locomotive to break that barrier. Other trains tried and failed.
Our trains these days go much quicker. You know, they're warmer, they're air conditioned and things. But mostly what people use trains today for is commuting. There's not so much leisure use of trains. So therefore, if you're commuting, you're going to work. And be honest, how many people like going to work? You know, instead of going fishing or something. So for that reason, people tend to be slightly more negative towards railways than perhaps they were in the past.
After a decade of waiting and at a cost of over £4 million, for some, this is a huge achievement.
Oh, it's so exciting because it's a heritage thing. I remember seeing the Flying Scotsman as a child from my school because it was on a trial, but now to actually go on it, it's amazing.
Never been in the fastest plane, never been in the fastest car, but I can travel on the fastest steam train. So, and it's a beautiful piece of engineering.
It's a good privilege to be on one of the most famous trains in the world.
Inside is a complex collection of cogs, levers and needles, now being used to take passengers on a journey that may bring back some memories.
You know, something like going on the Flying Scotsman would be a life experience. It would be the big day they were going to Edinburgh or they're going to London. Perhaps the day they were going on holiday or they're going to see something amazing. So all those associations go with the steam age. In a way, we don't associate railways today with that kind of experience.
Now living out of retirement and at a slower pace, but at least now with a few repairs and a new coat of varnish, it's back, letting people relive the journey once more. Bradley Harris, Quays News, the Flying Scotsman.
A man who needs no introduction, it is of course the one and only Bradley Harris.
Yes, and he is with us now in the studio. Bradley.
Hello,
Hi.
good afternoon. Nice to finally be back. Thanks for bringing me.
I know, I'm glad to have you here. So, you just finished last year, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah.
So what made you do Quays whilst you were at uni?
Well, to be honest, I honestly think I was the brainchild behind the entire programme. I was literally the person that gave birth to it, I believe. I joined Quays News because I was looking for friends. When I came to university, I didn't have any. You know, I was a bit like Josh Boyd, apart from he still doesn't have any friends. And Quays News was a good opportunity for me to mingle with new people. I came from an old village in Wales where there was one post office, one pub, a co-op, you know, to come into a vibrant city like Manchester. And this was a brilliant window to open and experience something that I've not really done before and to meet new faces.
So what have you learnt doing Quays for 3 years?
Loads. Absolutely loads. From sitting behind the desk to sitting where you are now, to being behind one of these cameras here, to using these microphones and doing sound. I've basically done the whole spectrum and it's been a fantastic experience.
Have you got a highlight from all your time at Quays? The best?
One highlight?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay, let's have a think. Probably the best highlight for me was probably one of the worst experiences actually, when there was somebody called Roger Giles who was directing the programme and he was telling me which camera to speak into next. And he went 2, 3, no, 1, 2, and I was just looking back and forth live within the programme. And I look back now and think, do you know what, that looks awful, but at the same time, it was a brilliant, hilarious moment.
So you were a judge for the Come Dine With Me special.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was great.
Was it good, yeah?
If you combine, free food, free wine, and, a day full of filming, what a fantastic experience. I'll do that again, no problem. It was great to try loads of different types of food, some good, some shockingly bad, but, the whole thing was just great.
So you also did Breakfast with Bradley, which was another special.
I did, yeah. Breakfast with Brad for the 15-hour Keys News Marathon.
Will there be another one of those, do you think?
Breakfast with Brad? I'd like to think so, maybe later down the line. It would be quite nice to do a show like that again. It was brilliant from, creating the opening VT to trying to gather all of the reporters for their stories and then having them on the sofa with their guests. A 1-hour programme, still to date, the longest programme I've ever presented and helped produce. So, it was great. And whether there'll be another one, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
So what is it that you do now then?
Right now, currently I work for BBC Breakfast, working on that programme. So a breakfast programme. Unfortunately, it's not called Breakfast with Brad. I am trying to get them to change the name, but they're not having any of it yet. So yes, I'm currently doing that, and still back and forth at the university doing other various things as well, which is nice.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. Thank you, Brad. Thanks
No
for coming
problem
in.
at all. No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, as well as our usual weekly programming, we like to go that extra mile a bit, don't we?
We do, yes. We don't like to take the easy route. So, of course, we've done our fair share of special shows.
From dementia to global poverty.
Science and space to the Olympics, we've done it all.
Should we take a look at some of our favourite moments?
Yeah.
Dr. Don Thomas, thank you for joining us in the studio today.
I was 6 years old when they launched the first American into space from Cape Canaveral in Florida. And at my elementary school, primary school, they brought us all to the gym. I sat on the floor and watched the small black and white TV that day as they launched into space. And as soon as the launch was over, I knew I wanted to do that.
Welcome to the Quays Christmas special. Which is the most expensive day?
The most expensive day is the 7 swans a swimming. They're about £700 each.
As Christmas carolers sing about the first Noel, we caught up with veteran broadcaster Noel Edmonds.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Keys News Dementia Special. I mean, as well as Tony helping you through the journey, you've also got Demi here, who you brought in the studio.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about Demi's role in living with?
Yeah, so my 400-metre heat was on Friday morning. I woke up sort of middle of the night on Thursday morning with horrible fever.
The 10 Years Science Festival is back celebrating the industry in multiple venues across Manchester and Salford.
We think it's crucial that young people get a sense of how much fun science can be.
Fun and engaging methods to communicate sometimes really complex science.
Well, I was going to say, it's not a precision piece of kit, this, is it?
It's not a precision piece of kit.
So, which was your favourite special?
I actually like the 15-hour one, although it must have been quite tough on everybody for 15 hours.
I really liked the Come Dine With Me. Or the Dementia Special was really good. I really liked the Dementia Special. That was good.
I know one of the faces you might recognise from those special shows joins us now, Max Merrill.
Hi, good to be here.
Hi, Max. So, the Dementia Special, how did you find it? Was it difficult or anything?
It was a little bit difficult because before we sort of started, we were discussing what kind of terminology to use, it's quite a sensitive subject to many people, so you have to kind of be careful. You don't want to just shy away from asking questions because that's part of good journalism, but at the same time you want to be respectful. So yeah, that was a bit tricky at times, but it was really, really interesting. I learned lots of stuff that I didn't know, so it was a really great opportunity to do that, yeah.
Oh, good. And then you did the Space Special as well.
Yeah, that was very nice. Unfortunately, at the same time, I was producing a news day, so that was a little bit hectic for me, but everyone in the gallery and everyone in the team was really good and really helped me just come in, and I just sat down and everyone was ready to go and I didn't really have to do much. And it was really cool to meet a real astronaut. And he was very, very good at talking, a very easy guest to interview. Some people are hard to interview, and I just threw a few questions at him and off he went.
Was it nerve-wracking interviewing like an astronaut?
Real life one.
It wasn't because he was so nice, so I
Yeah.
think that really helped. He was very kind, and before we started, I got a chance to talk to him. So it was actually really pleasant chat, and I just really listened to what he had to say. Apart from when Dan was screaming in my ear to I think we were running over or under. I can't remember which it was, but I do remember Dan being very insistent that we had to do something.
So, what made you actually get involved in Quays in the first place then?
Well, I went to one of the sort of talks that they did at the beginning of the year. I think Bradley Harris was there giving a talk on it, and they showed a bit of what Quays does, and Nathan Salt was there as well. He was there for online along with Adam and Callum, and they all gave the impression that they had learned a lot doing Quays, and that there were great facilities here and great opportunities. And part of the reason I came to the University of Salford was because of Media City and because of everything that's available here. So to find out that we have a professional studio here and all the equipment that goes along with and all the opportunities, it was a no-brainer really.
So have you learned anything from Quays?
Oh, lots. I said to some students yesterday that I probably learnt more doing Quays than doing the degree, which I probably shouldn't say to promote the university, but to promote Quays I'll say it. And it's true, because lots of the stuff that I did here I probably wouldn't have ever done until I got to a professional setting. So people here who are in the gallery, right away, because I'd seen a few galleries on internships and placements, I noticed that these people were pretty much professionals and they knew exactly what they were doing. Lots of the people knew how to operate professional equipment, and to see that up close is really impressive, to see young people who aren't even in the industry yet already producing sort of industry standard work, yeah.
And so what do you do now, Max?
I work as a reporter and author and little tidbits of other things for DW News, which is based in Berlin. It's kind of their equivalent of BBC World or CNN International. So I go on telly to talk about football, which is really a bit of a dream. And then I also work on 2 programmes that are sort of like match of the day, football focused type programmes.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming in, Max.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be
Cheers,
here.
thank you.
Thanks, Max. Now we're going to go to one of your old packages. Why don't you introduce it for us?
Yes, I will. And where am I looking? Oh, here we go. This is me investigating the Salford Quays swearing ban earlier this year. It was kind of a ridiculous thing that got into national news, and I wanted to go and get people's reactions and ask a criminologist for his view on the whole thing. So here we go. Reporting out here by the water, it can be cold as shit. Ooh. Better stop swearing because I'm crossing into Salford Quays, where using foul language could see you issued with an on-the-spot fine. Salford Council issued the Salford Quays Public Spaces Protection Order on August 17th last year. The order restricts persons within the restricted area from using foul and abusive language. Failure to comply can lead to a fine of up to £1,000. Do you plan on abiding by it, or are you just going to carry on as usual?
I just think you can just say what you want, really. I don't think that you can designate a certain place that you can't say certain things, do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I live over on St Lawrence Quay. I've never really dealt with bad language anyway, so I don't see it being a major issue. But if it's going to stop an issue in the future, I'm not really too fussed about it, to be fair.
We have to have freedom of speech, and someone can lose temper, sometimes say something. It does not mean that they mean those words.
Places are becoming more children orientated, so I think it is a positive thing, really.
If you are finding $100 for saying some bad words, so whether it be 1 word or 100 words, so if they are going to fine, I'll continue.
Can the squeaky clean Salford Quays be sullied by swearing? Is there any study or any evidence that swearing and deviant or criminal behaviour are connected in some way?
There's no study which suggests that swearing or foul language in any way is likely to move many people to criminal behaviour in the sense of getting them into a criminal mindset. Disrespectful talk might precipitate violence between 2 people who otherwise wouldn't get into violence. So words in certain situations can precipitate violence, there's no doubt about that.
So no swearing by the Salford Quays waterside, but perhaps after the watershed in one of these studios. Max Merrill, Quays News.
We've got another video message for you now.
Yes, it's from the lovely Adam Bysouth, one of our previous presenters here at Quays News.
Happy birthday, Quays News. 5 years of quite possibly the best student television station in the entire world. I've got so many amazing memories from my time working at Quays, and if it wasn't for that platform, I very much doubt that I would have the confidence right now to be working in the industry and presenting live on the radio. So I owe Quays News such a lot. Tom Foster, I'll never forget your talent on graphics. Keep going, pal. I know you're going to do it. The BBC's next for you. Rebecca Scott, I'll never forget your amazing direction. And of course, my good friend Emily Murray. We shared so many laughs on that Quays News sofa. And thank you for teaching me a fair bit about film as well. So happy birthday. Happy 5 years, Quays. May that continue going on into the future. And I can't wait to celebrate with you later on this week. Have a good one.
Over the years, we've been lucky enough to send our reporters to interview some celebrities.
Here are some of our favourite famous faces that are featured on the programme.
Sorry, serious interview, yes. Carry on. Ask me anything you like.
To an Australian, what is an esky?
It's an insulated cooler for drinks.
Correct. What was the first novel ever written on a typewriter?
Blimey. Huckleberry Finn?
That was The Adventure of Tom Sawyer.
Ah, the other one.
There's been this revolution in technology, particularly over the past 20 years. So digitally, it means audiences have become much more fragmented. It means the networks, BBC and ITV, have a harder job holding on to their audiences because people are getting their information in so many different ways. But technically also, it's a much more complicated job, but easier in some ways to get the story in as well.
I mean, it's happened very often. We get emails and letters all the time, or people coming up and approaching us at the theatre saying how important it's been to them that their story's told. It's one of the most moving things that's happened in the play.
Well, the main concern at the moment and the most pressing issue, and which concerns everybody from young to old, is that we're having this fracking being pushed upon us and rolled out and at Barton-Moss at the moment.
It's certainly been really hectic. There's been sort of events every week since Rio, whether it's interviews or parades or celebrations, things like that, which has been so lovely because the Games was abroad and away from home soil. It's so nice to be able to come back and then sort of everyone's so supportive, because although there were so many fans out in Rio, because it wasn't in London like it was 4 years ago, we didn't see sort of the reaction of the public and how we were possibly affecting the public.
It's Locks Radio Old.
Locks, Quays, radio, new, Quays, what's opposite?
I'll give you a clue. The word for radio is TV.
TV, Quays, TV, new, Z.
Oh, is that what you'd like to finish for us with, Keith?
You're very good like Jamie Theakston. Quays TV News.
Cut. So, this is Bezel Brash for Quays News. Boom, boom! They're going to be vocal cords.
So, we've been visited by ghosts of students past, and now it's time for students present.
We've got the editor of Quays Online, Nathan Salt, here with us now.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, good to be here.
Hi. Good. So, you are the online editor.
Yeah, that's right.
So what does that entail?
So I look after everything that goes on the website, basically. So any content that comes in, I oversee that and decide what we're giving prominence and what kind of projects we're going to be running, what campaigns we want to be running, really.
So what made you decide to do that? Like what intrigued you?
I'm a little, I don't know, I like a lot of control, so people will say I like being team leader of a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, straight away I got involved with the website and it was kind of the natural step. So I reported for most of my first year and it was the natural step really to step up. Yeah, I don't regret it one bit, it's been an amazing opportunity.
And what's the best thing you've done with Quays Online then, would you say?
One of the best bits actually being the editor is seeing some of the reporters grow and go on to really, really cool things. So many reporters worked on the Olympics and others have gone on to great projects. Even if it's not online, they've just honed their writing skills. And I don't know, as the editor, that's probably the best bit because you're not having your name on the website as much, but you're seeing other people get the opportunity to go and do great things. So that's a really nice thing to see.
So what made you prefer TV, online, over TV?
Online over TV. I've always been told I've had a face for radio, so you just take that as you will. But no, I don't know. I've always been into my writing and print. I really like print media, so I've done a lot of work with newspapers and online websites. I don't know, it's just what you get used to, I suppose, and where you get your breaks. But never rule anything out in journalism, that's what I say. So even though I've done online and you get the nickname of like Mr. Online, TV's never out of the question, or radio. It's just a case of where you catch your breaks.
And finally then, what's the best interview you've ever done?
The best interview I've ever done? Interestingly, it wasn't one of the big names I did. I'm into my sports journalism, so I did the Ashton United manager pair, and I did a really, really nice feature on the two of them. So that was one of my best pieces.
All right, thank you very much.
No worries.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nathan. Well, television was once so simple, one set per house, 3 channels, and they all switched off before midnight to the sound of the national anthem. But like Quays, over the years, that's all changed, with sets in bedrooms and kitchens and access on computers and tablets.
There are more channels than you can possibly count, and they're broadcasting 24 hours a day. We travel back to 2013, where our reporter Sophie Dulson looked at where television goes next.
Aesthetically, the television box has changed through the ages, from the robust 12-inch 1930s model to the slick HD widescreens we have in our homes today. So just how far have we come? If we were to rewind to the year 2003, this is where we were. People predicted linear television would be dead, social media hadn't broke, YouTube didn't even exist, and the average broadband speed was only 128 kilobyte. 10 years on, where are we now? Many consumers have taken the digital migration to the online realm, and the way they engage with and consume television is rapidly changing. From video on demand to video on the go, from iPhones to online TV networks, we are living through a revolution in the way television is delivered to the public. New technologies have been put into place and are likely to take existing trends even further, as viewers expect more choice and greater freedom. So much so, the way in which we produce and deliver television news is likewise changing irrevocably.
I think there's always going to be an argument for presenting curated news. So on Granada Reports, we are presenting to you what we consider to be most relevant and most important to people living in the Northwest. And that's very much kind of curated by us and presented in that way. And I think that still complements the kind of online world where you can get stuff that is more personal to you.
Following the dawn of the digital age, social media is often the frontrunner for engaging primetime television viewers and bringing the online conversation directly into their homes. Chris Goldson, ITV's Creative Sales Director, talks us through some of the social media interventions.
Yeah, the growth of social has made a massive difference to TV in terms of the way that you can engage with an audience. There's something about people watching television together and sharing socially, and I think that television makes social media the live water cooler.
75 years ago, the television was introduced with awe. Nobody truly believed it would change the way we view the world. Now people are more attached to their TVs than ever, and broadcasters and producers alike are continually thinking of new ways to bring big entertainment and news to the small screens. This is Sophie Dulson, reporting for Quays TV News.
Whilst Quays News offers a little bit of everything from Salford and Manchester, we went worldwide in 2014. The Global News Relay linked universities around the world, all hosted from our studio at Media City, UK. We travel all around the world in 90 seconds, remembering the Global News Relay.
Great snow.
So I
one word. Hello and welcome to this special episode of Studio 60 Live.
Hello viewers, you are now watching Jurnal 12 at Binus TV Indonesia.
Welcome to Volda University College. Fridtjof Nansen and Lars Monsen. They're all Norwegian explorers.
Hello and welcome to State of Events.
We get a frost, I'm going to lose all these.
Thank you for joining us on Newsbeat.
Hello and welcome to ACJ News India.
at RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia.
For this week's special edition of News One, as we join the Global News Relay.
How do you do?
Ready, guys?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye from myself and Jamie.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Some past students have sent us video messages wishing Quays a very happy birthday. Do not forget to send your messages on Twitter with the hashtag #HappyBirthdayQuays.
Happy birthday, Quays News! Wow, 5 years. I remember that very initial meeting when there was 10 of us who set up the TV station, and 5 years on, it's just grown from strength to strength. And then Penny joined us not long after.
Yeah, I started in my second year, and by third year I remember expanding to 2 shows a week, plus an entertainment show on a Friday, and I've seen you guys do loads of amazing stuff since. Since we graduated, we've both been lucky enough to get a job at ITV Channel, so we're both doing the same job in the same place in Jersey, of all places in the Channel Islands.
Yeah, currently sat in the ITV Channel gallery, not too dissimilar from the Quays one actually, so you guys will probably recognise a lot of what's going on behind us. But what I will say is that Quays was a fantastic platform to gain all the skills you could ever possibly want and to push you forward into future jobs, and I would say that if you've got a dream out there to work for Channel or to work for any other TV station, continue to push for it, because we managed to achieve it, and it is achievable, and Quays is a very great platform to begin that, and yeah, just keep striving and keep reaching for your goals.
Yeah, it absolutely provides the professional experience. I turned up here able to use a lot of the software and do parts of the job. Obviously I've developed way more since I've started here, but Quays was my in really. So yeah, seize every opportunity.
Penny's actually been here over a year now. This is my second week at Channel. I originally started in the Falklands with Falkland Islands Television, so been island hopping, hopped over to Jersey, and already I can say that ITV is a fantastic company to work for. So if you are looking to work for a company, here's a good one.
Keep an eye out.
And we can vouch for that. Best of luck to all of you for whatever you continue to do, whatever you go on to do, and hopefully you will continue to push Quays into the right direction, and yeah, hopefully one day we'll be able to get back and maybe make a visit. Love it. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Good morning everyone, and I say morning because it's currently 5:30 in the morning, and I, as you can see, I'm on the Scotland GMB shift this week. So Quays has turned 5 years old. That makes me feel really quite old, because I was there 5 years ago when we actually decided to try and set up Quays and develop something that was sustainable, that we could get, that was voluntary for students to get stuck in with. A massive well done to everyone. You've done such a good job of keeping it afloat, but I think in particular Neil Salmon you need to mention, because he's been absolutely fantastic in keeping Quays going. I do think in those 5 years he has aged significantly. Whether or not that's to do with working with me, you can ask him that. But if it wasn't for Quays, I wouldn't be working in television right now. It gave me all the experience and a platform to develop my skills, and it was awesome, and the people were what made it as well. There's a lot of people that I was very sad to leave in Salford. There were some I wasn't too bothered about. But, it was a great experience, and I hope you guys have a great show. I'm sure you'll absolutely smash it. And hopefully this VT doesn't cut out, and I will see you there at the 10-year anniversary show. Well done, guys.
Hello, I'm Jamie Glover, and welcome to the news gallery for ITV Granada. I did Quays in 2014 and 2015, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without Quays TV. Me and the rest of the production specialist team here at Granada are multi-skilled technical operators. That basically means we'll do a little bit of everything. So your shift could involve recording weathers, mixing live sound for bulletins or programmes, vision mixing and directing the GMB bulletins or the late bulletins, vision and racking, camera operating and floor. We also have editors and PAs as part of our team as well. Happy 5th birthday, Quays. It's so good that you guys at university have a platform where you can practice your skills every single week. I certainly think that without Quays TV, I wouldn't be where I am today. There's already been a lot of success stories come out of Quays, and I'm sure there's many, many more to come. Happy birthday, Quays, and have a great show. Cheers.
We've now got second year students Nicola and Zara with us. So you guys are both involved with Quays.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
what made you decide to get involved?
So I wanted to get involved because I wanted to gain the hands-on experience, and it helps you when you go on to placements like BBC or ITV. It helps you because you have something to talk about that, you know, I've done Quays, you know, I've done presenting and all that. It helps you really. What do you think?
Well, I say like for me, I just like really wasn't confident at the start of it. I wouldn't say boo to a goose, so because of that, I just like thought I'd like join, hang around with everyone and see, you know, learn from like sort of professionals, because you do get like people from the higher years, like the third years and stuff, that come in and help with cameras and stuff, so you get to learn about that as well. It's not just, you know, doing the story, it's about all the behind the scenes part of that as well. So I guess that's why I really want to get involved in that.
And what would you say that both your favourite things to do with Quays are?
I enjoy presenting, but I also love reporting and actually going out and doing all the packages. And actually, I've got a really funny moment and happened recently, like a month ago. I went on to report Oktoberfest, and as I was signing off, you know, Nicola Bartoshevaki's news, one of the guys actually went and like he went to kiss me on a cheek, and I was like, oh my word, I was like,
that might be on that pictures reel later.
It will be probably, I don't know.
It might be, God knows. But yeah, so like for me, I really like the presenting. That's like one thing that I like, mainly because I can just like say if something goes wrong, I like just reeling off like random nonsense that I can
just sort of like improvising,
Yeah, I sort of like that because it makes it more natural, more fun.
So when you leave Quays, what's your dream role to have in the industry?
Well, ideally somewhere in TV or radio, but I guess it would be reporting, presenting for one of the TVs in Europe, let's say. I think that would be the dream.
Well, for me, bit of a stretch, but you know, one day Sky Sports News HQ.
Right, that's out then.
Yeah,
nice.
That's a good one.
Alongside Kamara and Jeff Stelling, of course.
You can do.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so 5 years leaves plenty of time to build up quite a gag reel.
And despite how hard we try, we aren't perfect, so we have quite a few.
Let's take a look at some of the best ones.
Guess the headline. Next round is a quick fire round. Each team has a buzzer. Let's hear them. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I've done it again.
That's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed.
What? Well, sorry, Ross. There's no cooking
It
involved.
was so easy, Ross. Why didn't you do?
No.
Well done. You've got a lucky 7 from me.
Enjoy that 7.
I'm not saying it rubbish.
She's a bit. That angle on Ganesh is a bit.
Tomatoes and. Oh no! Alex!
Just get over it, Ross. Just get over it. The dream team, and Ganesh is still there.
Making some lovely food for a few of your friends. Well, not my friends.
In the very sweet potato roll.
We've got it. We have.
I think we've
slammed you. Go, go, go. You heard a shelter child. We want it.
So yeah, it's where the magic happens.
Don't be silly.
Do anything.
You can work up a sweat in the kitchen.
Oh.
Really? Sorry.
I've lost the plot. I've literally gone mental.
That's it.
Thank you. Bring on the other side.
That's actually not bad.
I feel like we need to do this again. No.
Now, Bethan, are you doing anything for Valentine's Day next week?
I am actually. I'm going for a meal in town.
Don't miss them.
Great hat, Luke.
Was it really?
It looked great.
This
brilliant.
new banana from AutoQ.
You can work up a sweat in the gym.
And 18-year-old girl who, after a bit of How's Your Father, finds herself pursued by what I can only describe as an ST demon. I actually quite enjoyed 50 Shades of Grey. The dialogue is terrible. The two main leads have no chemistry with each other. I'm looking so crazy right now. You know,
Love it.
no, I
A bit of
really
Beyonce
enjoyed
there
it.
was
Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, come on, Tom. Maybe in your own deluded mind.
La, 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 la. You got it.
Now, our fabulous director of journalism has a very special birthday message for us.
Okay, everybody, I want to say a massive happy birthday to Quays News, 5 years old today, and it's been brilliant to see Quays in operation for all 5 years. Fantastic, because we see students coming in, working together as a team, and the great thing about it is they do all kinds of roles. It's whether they're presenting, in the gallery, reporting, and all coming together. I've seen some amazing students who've gone on to do great things, but most of all, actually what I've enjoyed about it, as well as seeing students learning all the time, is the amount of fun they've had. It's been brilliant. I remember a comic relief special where students stayed for about 300 hours in here and had a great time, lots of smiles, and that's what we want tonight. So have a great time, have a few drinks, and enjoy Quays, because it's only going to get bigger and better, and hopefully I'll still be here in another 5 years to wish you a happy birthday on number 10. Okay, happy birthday.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us for our birthday extravaganza.
Join us on Tuesday for the final Quays News of 2016.
There's more news on our website, quaysnews.net. And don't forget to like us on Instagram, Facebook and Snapchat, all at Quays News.
But one final throwback for you as we are played out by a Quays session performance. Here's Rinse with Drown.
I find myself
birthday! Happy birthday, Quays!
Oh, and he takes it. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Quays!